Und damit ein herzliches Willkommen und hallo zu einem weiteren Part Fake Grand Order. Ich bin es am Simmerfix. Wir sind in den Ruinen von Albion und haben beim letzten Mal hier eine groteske Figur bekämpft, die uns Chaldea an den Hals hier gehetzt hat. Auf den Hals gehetzt hat. An der Seite haben wir auch Melusine, die nun hier einen offiziellen Namen uns gesagt hat. Endlich muss ich nicht mehr so tun, als würde ich den Namen nicht mehr kennen. Auf jeden Fall, liebe Leute, haben wir uns mit ihr zusammengetan, einem der ursprünglichen Drachen und Abkömmlinge vom Albion. Und mit dieser konnten wir diesen Monsterdrachen bezwingen. Nun ist die goldene Frage, wie lang unsere hier seltsame Allianz hält. Hoffentlich lang, liebe Leute. Ich brauche Unterstützung. Ich habe Angst. Große Angst. Beast. Alter. Sind aber kurz Chaldea fertig geworden. Shigotta, ist die nicht ein Beast? Naja. Yep, that's Lancelot's Aurora tonight. She just a drunken Chaldea spirit con, no question. So richtig besiegt sah die jetzt aber nicht aus. She's gone. What happened? Nessin. I thought you killed her. Lancelot. In this form, I'm Tamlin Lancelot. I will tell you nothing unless you call me by that name. Not that there's anything I want to tell you in any case. Leute, ich mag ihr Gesichtszeit. Yeah. Das ist für dich gut. Okay, Lancelot. We won't mention that other name again. But it looks like you're just as strong even without your gifted name. In fact, you might even be weak as Lancelot, so if you want to go by that name, you won't hear us complain. Exactly. Thank you for being so understanding. No problem. I'm flattered you think so. But anyway, what happened with Chaldea? Should we assume she got away? Well, maybe. I should have gone for her head, not her heart. That beast was still weak since she wasn't fully grown, but she had vitally to spare. If I had to guess, I'd say she has several lives, though she should at least be incapacitated a few days. Ist es so eine Katze mit 9 Leben und ein Fuchs hat auch 9 Leben, oder? It's all thanks to you, Lancelot. Oh, good. I knew you were dead. Of course, but I'm glad to see you did it too. This is great. Now old Skelly will stick around for a long time yet. Without Lord Skelly, the lake would have filled back in with a regular ocean. Then the border between the surface and the spirit cavern would fall apart, and Lady Ainsel would be sad. Lord Skelly? Is that really what the Mirror Clan called Albion? Yep. It's easy to tell who you meant that way, right? Anyway, why don't we get back? The longer you stay here, the worse you're gonna feel. I'm getting that, yeah. The poison, is strong enough to affect spirit origins. I don't even want to think about the genetic effect it could have on living creatures. Besides, while I'd love to investigate Albion's corpse further, we have something else that needs doing right now. Let's go back to the ruins then. How about you, Lancelot? Sie begleitet uns als Bodyguard. Hoffentlich. What's wrong? Was ist los? What? What is it? Stay all you want. You're not going to find a weakness. It's not that. I was just wondering what you being a living Albion means. Also, I have to say, Melusine is a lovely name. I can't believe she just blurted it out. Even Howard taught knew better than to bring it up. That has nothing to do with you, and it's not worth talking about. Lancelot is Albion's left claw. When the planet turned into the Sea of Nothingness, Albion, who didn't make it back to the paradise, exhausted their strength and died when they fell from the sky. But, even though their core, their heart, had stopped, their flesh lived on. Right before their body completely fell apart, they cut off their left claw. That left claw was Melusine before this new life. It was here, in the lake for a long time, not even sure if it was alive or dead. Yeah, didn't see anything like that the last time I saw it was here. I'm sure you didn't. Before I looked like this, I was just a filthy clump of flesh. I had no muscles, no bones, no cilia, no hair, no joy, no fun, no sadness, no suffering. I didn't even know I was a dragon, or what I would have liked to be. I maybe have been alive, but I wasn't truly living. I was just a thing, wriggling in the darkness of the bog. But then, one day... Aurora. Ich hätte jetzt eher gedacht, morgen her. Please, stop this, Lady Aurora. You're going to dirt yourself. Any creatures living in the bog like this must be even filthier than the moors. Why would you say something like that? Just look at how much it's struggling to reach the light. It's okay. This lake is quiet and shallow. I'm sure even I can help it. What is that thing? It looks like a rotten fruit. Please, get away from it, Lady Aurora. You'll ruin your dress. Oh my, you poor thing. You must be so cold. You're not a water fairy, are you? Hello there, darling one. Or, good morning, I think. Yes, that's better. My name is Aurora. What's yours? Now that we're friends, could I offer you some tea? Oh, only if you like tea, of course. Aurora ist einfach zu gutherzig. Für ihr eigenes Wohl. I met someone who has had no reservation about cradling a creature like me in her arms. It was the first time I'd seen something beautiful. That was when I gained this form. I was no more than a bunch of cells, but once I saw her, I knew I wanted her to be just like her. That was the first thing I ever wanted. And now, I have this body, along with the name she gave me, Melusine. So I didn't have muscles or bones or even clear to transport cells. You must have been something like an amoeba then. But then, once you saw a model for your new way to be, you transformed into a fairy. Yes, that's right. Amazing, isn't it? It truly was a miracle. Nobody else would ever have thought to go into that dark, muddy bog, let alone cradle me like that. That's why my life belongs to her. My whole reason for being is making her wish come true. But she had duties she couldn't neglect, so we couldn't be together forever. 100 years ago, the Earthwind King and Fang clans were so afraid of the calamity that they began fighting amongst themselves again. So at High Queen Morgan's suggestion, I became a Tamlin Lancelot to bring the fighting to an end. So that's why you're the only Tamlin who doesn't have her own army or domain. Tristan, Bow and Sif, hates fairies, Gawain, barges, loves fairies, humans too. What about you, Lancelot? How do you feel about them? Did you just start caring for Percival on a whim? No, I didn't. I love Percival deeply. Love? I watched over him for 10 years, ever since he was a little boy. Every time he grew bigger and stronger, my heart felt like it would burst with joy, uncertainty, loneliness, and gratitude. I wasn't the best mentor, sister, or even friend. I've dreamed of a future where Percival could live happily, like the humans in proper human history, so many times though. But not only did he decline High Queen's Morgan invitation, he went and formed the silly Round Table Army. I don't know how he turned out to be such a delinquent. I certainly didn't raise him like that. If you care about him that much, it's not too late to join the Round Table Army. I can't do that. I have to be a Tamlin. That's why I obey High Queen Morgan. Whether the Child of Prophecy's cause is just or not, doesn't matter. I made a deal with Her Majesty, had my reasons, and I'm going to honor the deal. Aber auf der anderen Seite, liebe Leute, ich möchte das jetzt mal nur als Option hinstellen. Bedeutet es, wenn Aurora sich mal wirklich komplett für unsere Sache verschwört, heißt es eventuell, dass sie sich auch uns anschließt? Not bad. Alright, this should be far enough. Besides, it's time I return to Camelot. I'll see you later, on the battlefield, as enemies. You're really going to fight Percival? He chose this path for himself. I have to respect that. But don't tell him you talked to me. It'll only be painful for him. Bye! Good luck in the battle at Camelot! Guter Geist. Ciao, Jet. Whoop! There she goes. She left as quick as she came. just like the last time. Wait, was she the one who massacred the It's okay. It's all in the past now, I'm not upset. Everyone in the Mirror Clan can't see the future. We all know when we are going to die, and it's hard to tell present from future. We feel like we are dead from the moment we are born. So we have no regrets, no desire, or for revenge, or anything like that. Dying just hurts, that's all. I do feel bad for Einsel, though. She was our leader, our princess. So she was always worried about the whole clan's future. She put so much pressure on herself, always worried about how to find a way for us to survive. She put all that on herself. She kept apologizing to the whole clan, right up to the moment we all died. The truth is, she's the one who was supposed to become a Nightcall. But I didn't want her to keep having to apologize to us even after we all died, so I volunteered to be a messenger instead. Messenger? Is there a message for the Child of Prophecy? Yep. There's no bell of pilgrimage in the city. Only the clan heads have those. And since I was destroyed along with her, I'm afraid you'll have to find a replacement somewhere else. This is kind of hard to say, but... Ihre Aufgabe oder seine Aufgabe ist erfüllt, das heißt, mirror your... That's okay, Maxi. Let's just hear what she has to say. The last thing Einsel had to say was, the Child of Prophecy will come here twice. The first time will be to live. The second time will be to die. I see. Thank you, Mirror. I'll remember that, I promise. Take care of yourself, okay? I'm glad you turned out to be such a kind Child of Prophecy. Make sure you don't hold anything back and second guess yourself. Just go out there and save Britain. Save the rest of us fairies. Liebe Leute, das Schlimme ist, das ist im Endeffekt nur die Vorbereitung. Der Krieg zwischen den Geschwistern oder Mami und Sohn, wie man es auch immer bezeichnen will, und der Krieg, der hier schließlich dazu führen wird, dass unser gute Castoria das Zeitliche segnen muss. Viel Übles erwartet uns. Das hat wehgetan, oder?
Yeah. Oh. I can't believe this. How could she have crushed my heart through the six-tailed clone I sent out? What a disaster. All that hard work I did to raise one of my tails gone just like that. The plan was to send one of my 9 lost tails to each Lostbelt, so they could all learn and gain unique experiences. And once all 9 tails had matured, I was going to become a beast that would have easily surpassed that smarmy Foxmane.
Es ist nur der Hate gegen OG Tamamur.
But now the whole thing's ruined. Oh well, guess I just have to give up then. Really? Now that I think about it, I could have actually grown all 9 tails anyway, since there are only 7 Lostbelts. Foo. Alright, let's try to look at the bright side of this. Do I cut my losses and move on, or do I stay put? This body was just a pile of bones, and since it doesn't have any fur, there's no way for me to control it. And Lady Melusine is no longer a beast, but a fairy akin to a orc spirit. It's late for me to acquire either. It'd be a pretty big loss if I pulled out of Britain now. That I don't see much, but I don't see much reason to stay at this point. Well, at least I found some good reference material for the private casino resort and private primate zoo I plan to build on one day. I do feel bad about leaving Lady Murian in the lurch, but...
Leaving so soon? So you're every bit of heartless as you seem.
Oh my! Look at them off dragged in! Well, if it isn't the so-called Fairy King who asked me to wipe out Woodward's reinforcement without Lord Maxi finding out.
Also Leute, es war klar, dass Oberon die Verstärkung... Also, wie gesagt, uns wurde ja gesagt, die Verstärkung ist niemals gekommen. Das war das, was uns Beryl hier gesagt hat, als Woodward. Aber die Verstärkung wurde ausgelöscht? Ich habe ja irgendwie gedacht, dass Oberon was, aber er hat mit Koyanskaya einen Deal gemacht. Oh, Deal with the devil. In exchange for telling me where I could find Albion.
Of course you didn't say at the time that the information you were peddling was worthless. You knew Alvin was no good to me when you made the deal, didn't you?
Of course I did. Why would I go out of my way to help one of Chaldean's enemies? Besides, I only told you where you could find Albion's grave. You getting what you want from it was never part of the deal. Now, would you cut that sickening slander before I get forcibly reacquainted with my breakfast?
Oh, very well, Ed. It may have been no more than a rotted corpse, but it was still the last pure-blooded dragon. Even if I couldn't make it my kin, I was still able to extract some valuable information from its bone structure. It should be at least provide us good structure for the Grand Tamamu Shrine, the AAA Advanced Scavenging Arrangement, currently under construction at NFF Services headquarters. Now then, if you excuse me, Prince Devious, I must be going. I do hope you enjoy playing Guide to Chaldea.
You're looking for a weapon that can destroy the world, right? I really didn't want to tell you this, but right now, we need all the help we can get, even from a beast. I have an idea of where you can find an even stronger product that's right up your alley. So, if I were you, I wouldn't cut my losers in Britain, just yet. Oberon. Also, es ist echt, Prince Devious ist auch ein schöner Name. Lass dich nicht mit dir ein, es ist nur gefährlich. Aber auf der anderen Seite noch was viel Schlimmeres, liebe Leute. Wir wissen natürlich, von was er spricht, das ist simpel. Dem Monster, der Gottheit, die unter, die überhaupt die Geburt des Kontinents hier war, des Landes. Cernunnos. Oh, Leute, mir gefällt das alles ganz und gar nicht. Nun gut, wir sind wieder in einem der Flashbacks, die zum Glück viel besser sind als noch im ersten Akt. Wir haben auch inzwischen fast die ganze Geschichte hier. Wie gesagt, das ist noch das Wichtigste eben, wie morgen entstanden ist und im Endeffekt wie es halt sie einfach diese komplette Kontrolle übernommen hat. Nun, Fragment Number 9. Und das wird richtig interessant, denn wir bewegen uns auf die Krönungszeremonie und das Ende von Ace zu. Und vergesst nicht, meine werten Freunde, Isaac hat uns ja beim letzten Mal ein paar unschöne Sachen erzählt. Wie gesagt, dass sie die Menschheit ignoriert, dass sie die eigentlich verachtet. Also nicht Menschen an sich, aber wie gesagt alles. Also das ganze Leben hier, die Leute, dass sie halt wirklich die Hoffnung verloren hat. Orkney. End of the Fae Era 400. After the Fall of Landino. Oh nein, wir sind schon nach der Zerstörung.
Totorot, where did Geise go? She went to check on the world tree. I mean, the tree of emptiness. She said she's going to wither it until it dies. Then she'll end the Fae Era and create a new land. I see. I wish there was something I could do for her, but there isn't. It's all gone. All of it. Everything Ace. Everything we all worked for, destroyed. Just like that, for no reason at all. I guess there really isn't any way left to save Britain. It doesn't feel fair that I'm the only one who gets to survive. That I get to stay behind in the future. Mesh. You've got it all wrong, Mesh. You're not staying behind in the future. You're going back home to it. Remember, you never belonged here to the Fae in the first place. So it's good that you're going back. Even Isaac said this would wrap everything up nice and neat. That didn't cheer you up? Fine. If you're that worried about it, I'll make you a special promise. A promise that proof you're coming here into this era was a mistake. A special promise? That's right. You know, I used to be a real jerk before I lost to Ace. I was violent and selfish, and everyone else in the Wing Clan hated me. But then I joined Ace again, went around Britain beating up bad guys with her. It was a lot of fun and all, but it also felt kind of empty. Like there was a big hole in my heart. I used to wonder, what is really I wanted to do? What should I do? And what would bring me real joy? But then you came along and filled that hole for me. Mesh, remember when you told me about Habitat, the fairy from Scotland? I don't know which me is right. This Lostbelt me or the me from proper human history, but I don't care. The other me you described sounds so happy. I've decided that I wanna be. You gave me a dream worth living for a mesh, and I don't mean the dream of becoming Harbinger from proper human history. Now my dream is to see you in a bridal gown, getting happily married. Now that you have given me that dream, I'm gonna hold on to it forever. I'm always gonna be grateful you came here. So, you just wait right here, and don't worry about a thing. While you're sleeping, I'm gonna become a great tailor and see of at least 100 brides. That way, maybe my own little wish will come true too. I mean, if I can make 100 brides happy, that'll definitely help me become a real grown-up. Right. That's right, knowing you had Totorot. I'm sure you become the best sea mistress in the world. Right? So there's a promise. It's okay if you forget it as long as you keep waiting here. The next time we meet, I'm gonna be able to make your wonderful dress that look absolutely smashing on you.
And so Mesh, the first Tamlin, entered her slumber. It would be wrong for a human girl named Mesh to exist in the Fae area, you see. So, by insisting that the figure in this coffin was actually the first Tamlin, there wouldn't be a paradox in the era of the High Queen that was to come. Great thinking, Ask.
You know, Ask, I still don't get why you're helping Mesh. I'm not too smart, but even I can tell you won't gain anything from it. She has a special spirit option. Having someone like her working for me will be useful in the future. Gotcha. Well, I don't know much about that kind of stuff, so I'm not gonna ask anything more. You're about to kill the Tree of Emptiness, right? And a whole lot of furries are gonna die, right? Then our journey together is over. I'm gonna go back to the south and work on my furry training. And this time, I do it for me. See you later, Isaac. It's been fun. I see. Goodbye, Totorot. Training for your own sake is all well and good, but don't forget what I taught you either, okay?
Tage und Nächte vergingen, bis Isaac hier den Baum gestürzt hat. Und im Endeffekt das der Beginn eines Lostbelts wurde. My Diary, page 14,800. It's been 400 years since that day. I'm now known far and wide as a first-class sea mistress. I've seen more than 100 brides but my wish hasn't come true. Of course it hasn't. After all, I still haven't been able to make a dress for my first bride, the one I care about more than any other. My legs don't work so well lately, my eyesight is fading, and I can barely hold this pen. Meanwhile, Britain hasn't changed one bit. Ever since Ask quit being the savior, war between the clans has resumed, worse than ever. Now it's the year 12,000, the year of the great calamity that occurs once every 1,000 years. Ace said this is when Britain is supposed to come to an end. But I know that it won't. Mesh told me it still exists in the future.
Okay, nobody should find me in here.
I sat down in the corner of a northern cave. As soon as I did, my eyes stopped working, my mouth stopped moving, and my mind started to go blank. Huh? I must have been even more tired than I thought.
Let's see, 2019, Sheffield Castletown.
I sprinkled the purification powder Grimmer made for me on my head. I hear the world breaking apart, far off in the distance. I hear the screams of fairies as they perish. It's the winter storm ringing, the bell of revenge. Ask returned from Orkney, the world's end.
The last war. There's no more Uther, no more Round Table, no more Hector, no more Grimmer. It's just here, and the war of winter. Sorry I couldn't be out there with you, Ask, but fighting just takes too much out of me.
'Tis the end of the Fae era, the moment that makes our entire pilgrimage meaningless. The time a savior vanishes from history and disappears from everyone's memory. Liebe Leute, das Ende der Fae-Ära. Oh, es ist so grausam, wie es mit Ace hier zu Ende ging. Ihr ganzes Leben lang hat sie nichts anderes versucht, als hier Britannien zu einigen. Und wir wissen ja, wie gesagt, das wussten wir schon, was bei der Krönungszeremonie passiert, nämlich ein Massaker und all ihre Pläne würden zerschlagen. Sie hat den Baum gefällt und der War of Winter, die Zerstörung und dann im Endeffekt das Ende von ihr, von unserer Heldin. Liebe Leute, an dieser Stelle machen wir jetzt erstmal einen kleinen Cut. Beim nächsten Mal geht's weiter. Und die Frage ist natürlich auch für unsere Freunde, wenn wir hier nun die Glocke nicht haben, müssen wir uns selber eine machen? Wie können wir das veranstalten? Ich würde mal sagen, das werden wir rausfinden im nächsten Kapitel Orkney. Vielen Dank fürs Zuschauen, bis zum nächsten Mal. Ciao!